Hello everyone, my name is Charity. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I have a modesty video for you, and I'm just going to be sharing with you all some guidelines that helps me when I am shopping for tops and also dresses. And so I hope that this is helpful to you. When it comes to tops and dresses, most of the time these types of clothing are not going to be modestly made for us modest ladies. Sometimes we have to just do patchings to it, and it's like put this on it, put this inside of it, just so that it can come out modest for us. At the end of the day, I want to be able to buy something that I don't have to do so much to. Try to make sure that I limit all of the extra spending, and so these tips really help me. When I'm looking for tops, I'm looking for the neckline, sleeves, as well as the back. So the neckline, my ideal standard is that I prefer my neckline to be at least at my collarbone or trying to be at my collarbone. I really don't like my neckline to be way below my collarbone, because it just makes me feel really uncomfortable. And so typically when I'm shopping for tops, I'm either looking for an insert, which is something that I would wear inside of a blazer, or I'm looking for a top that I can just wear out, something like this. And so if I am looking for an insert, I want to pay a lot of attention to the neckline, because the sleeves I don't care so much about, because I'm going to wear a blazer over it anyway. And so I want to just make sure that my neckline is really, really good. If it is a top that I am going to wear by itself without wearing anything over, I want to pay attention to the back. Sometimes certain tops, the front part would be really, really nice and clean and modest, and then you turn the back and it's like they've got a whole bunch of stuff going on there. I recently picked up a top from TJ Maxx, and I actually bought it online, and I just kind of wanted to just show you what it looks like and how it really meets my standard. So this is the top. And first and foremost, you can already tell that the neckline is excellent. As I put it over my clothes right now, you can see that the neckline is really, really good. I don't have to do any patching on the neckline. And this is also really important, especially for those of us that do shop online. If you are in the store, you can try it on and see how it works. But when you're shopping online, it's really, really hard. So you really have to just make sure that you are looking at the picture, allowing the pictures then to guide you. I also look at the length as well. I really don't necessarily want to buy like a crop top. I don't want to buy a top that's like halfway at my belly. I want a top that covers my body really well. And so this one, it's got a really, really good length. And so I have no problems in that area. Now let's look at the sleeve. The sleeve is actually, I think it's actually like a 3/4 sleeve, kind of like a bubble type of a sleeve. And it's got like these these pleats that just adds that extra detailing. And I actually didn't see this online when I purchased it, so it was a really nice surprise. And then also, like I mentioned earlier, I paid attention to my back side. I made sure that I looked at the back pictures online. And so as you can see, there is a zipper in the back. And so I don't have to worry about putting anything in the back or my back being exposed for any reason at all. I really, really like the pattern. I always like animal print patterns because I like to wear red to complement animal print patterns, and so I was really, really excited about this, and it is perfectly modest and I love it, and I am going to have fun wearing this. And it also feels like a really high quality fabric. I'm not exactly sure what kind of fabric it is because it doesn't tell me, but it just feels like a really, really high quality fabric. One of the things I like about TJ Maxx is that they have very high quality clothing at a very fraction of the price. It was originally retailed at $16.99 online at TJ Maxx, but I actually got it for $10. And that was one of the reasons I purchased it. And then of course I just wanted a top that was already modest and just really simple to wear, that I can just throw on, for church or for any casual function or event. dress that I purchased also from TJ Maxx. And again, for dresses, most of the time, I'm not going to be able to find a dress that is already modestly made. And so again, I'm paying attention to my neckline as a priority because most likely I'm going to have to put some sort of a blazer over it. I'm paying attention to my back, but a lot of times I can get away with the back just because I'm going to wear a blazer over it. But I try as much as possible to not purchase any dress that has like, you know, a back that is just not pleasant. So I'm paying attention to my neckline, I'm paying attention to my sleeves, I'm paying attention to the length of the dress, but then I'm also paying attention to my hip area and also my buttock area, because I don't want to wear a dress that is too tight and too form-fitting to my body. I want my clothing to be nice and flowy. This helps my body to breathe and to be comfortable. So this is the dress that I picked up from TJ Maxx as well, and this was also purchased online. And as you can see, we have some spaghetti straps here, and but our neckline is very good. Our neckline meets our standard. See, if I put it up, it meets the standard. I don't have to patch up in that area at all. And then I also really liked this waistline. I always like, well, most of the time, I like my waistline, especially in dresses, to be accentuated just in a way that makes you look feminine, you know, that you're not wearing a potato sack, you know, but that it makes you just appear very feminine. And so that was one of the things that really attracted me to this dress. And then I also love pleats. And so as you can see, there are some pleats, and it is actually a completely pleated dress. It kind of gathers in the middle a little bit, giving you that feminine look, but then it also just kind of just opens and flares out at the bottom. I also like the color. It is a navy color, and I was kind of looking for like navy type of clothing. I like to pair that with like mustard yellow and red. Now let's take a look at the back. So with the back here, actually, we do have an opening, but there is a little button that we can secure. And so as you can see here, it does have an opening, but I mean, I'm going to be wearing a blazer over this anyway, and so that is fine. And by the time that I actually clip this button closed, the back side is going to be closed. The other thing also, especially for dresses, and this also goes for skirts, is that when I am shopping for these things, I always try to make sure that there is a lining. Lining is just basically having an extra fabric in a dress or in a skirt, and this really helps to help you to not be exposed, because sometimes certain fabrics are see-through, and so if there isn't that extra lining in the dress or in the skirt, then you go out and you're standing in the sun or something, and now it's like people can see through your dress, and that's not cool. This dress, actually, when it came in, I noticed that there was no lining in it, but that's okay because there's a solution for that. There's something called a slip. Basically a satin fabric, and it usually comes in like a dress, like kind of like a camisole dress, or in a skirt type of a thing. Soft satin fabric that you can wear underneath your dresses or your skirts that are a little bit more on the see-through side, and it'll give you coverage. And so this is mine. As you can see, it is a satin fabric, like I said, and it's a skirt, okay? But it's really light. It's such a light fabric, but it really comes in handy. And I truly believe that every modest lady needs to have slips in their closet because it will make a difference for you. So for this dress, I don't have to worry because all I have to do is just put this slip underneath, and I am going to be fully covered. I'm not going to be exposed, by God's grace. You may be wondering how much I paid for the dress. So the dress was actually retailing on TJ Maxx for $39.99 originally, but I actually purchased it for $20. And this dress is a very high quality dress, and it is beautiful. So when I talked about with the dresses, I'm also looking at the length as well. So this dress is actually like, it is like mid-calf for me, so it's pretty long, but not too long. strength. I also just wanted to share that if you are shopping online, it's probably going to be difficult to decipher or to determine how the dress or the skirt will look on you, because just because it looks like it's at the knee for the model that was used in the picture doesn't mean that it'll necessarily be at your knee when you wear it. And so one of the things that I do is that I always look at the measurements that is listed on the clothing website. A lot of the clothing platforms will have the specific measurements, and so you just kind of look at it, and if you know your measurements, that's fine. But if you don't know your measurements, I would recommend that you invest in a tape measurement or a tape measure like this. And basically you just look online. If it's 44 inches, then you just measure yourself, or you can just measure one of your other clothing just to see how it compares or contrasts with those clothing, and then you can then determine, oh, okay, well, if my clothing is 36 inches, you know, if this dress that I have is 36 inches and this dress that I'm trying to buy online is 44 inches, then, you know, I have an idea of where it will land on my body. You can do the same thing for your tops as well. You know, you can just measure yourself and measure your top. So a lot of times they will have like they'll have like all of the measurements, the bust line, the sleeve line, and so go ahead and just measure all of that. A lot of the times, you know, there are certain types of companies that will produce clothing that run a little bit on the larger side, and so it's really good to take advantage of these measurements that are placed on the website. Maybe you typically wear size small, but because maybe this company runs small, their clothing typically runs small, you may have to go up to a size medium just so that it fits your body, but the measurements will be a really good guide for you to make that decision. Another thing also is that sometimes certain types of clothing will come with like an extra button. Definitely keep these because it's for a purpose. Just in case the button in the back comes out, you have that extra. You don't have to go out and buy another button. And so keep the button safely in a safe place just in case you need it. Okay, ladies, so I hope that this video was helpful to you. And always remember that true modesty begins at the feet of Jesus Christ. A relationship with Jesus Christ allows you to find your identity in Him and not in the fashions and in the things of this world. And so have a blessed day, remain modest, and I will talk to you in another video. Bye!